Hello, my loves. Happy soon to be full moon in Scorpio happening for us individually and collectively on Friday, May the 1st. And here's a beautiful flower for you, beautiful rose. The Scorpio moon, one of the names of it is the flower moon because of all the abundant blooms happening in the month of May. Also, other names for it I've seen is corn moon because of all the corn being planted, and milk moon. I'm not sure why, but milk moon is another name for it. But anyway, so here's this for you for the flower moon. And um so things I want to talk about. Okay. There's a lot of things I want to talk about. And as I always say, these are important times, but this with the Scorpio energies, and let me just say before I forget that we all have all the signs within our birth chart. So whether or not you know yourself to be a Scorpio, somewhere in your chart, you and I, we all have it somewhere within our birth chart. So yes, it pertains to you. Okay? It pertains to all of us. How we can utilize these energies, these cosmic events that's happening for us. And so, Scorpio, the ruling planet is Pluto, and it's about deep transformational changes and feelings and emotions, um going deep within. And it's also very intuitive. It's a water sign, so very psychic, and in with their emotions. um and also, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but it also can deal with abuse of sorts, whether it be verbal, mental, psychological, spiritual, physical, you name it. But it can also pertain to that. But let's just say that it can also help once you face these certain things. You can be a powerful healer. Powerful healer, not only for you, but for other people that have maybe gone through certain things. And so that's a possibility. It's things that are hidden underneath the surface. It's a sign of the Scorpio. And another thing too that I read somewhere or had learned, and I'm pretty sure, is also reference to the phoenix, which is the bird that's rising out of the ashes, that heals. And is rebirthed. How beautiful is that? So these are very important times, as always, as I say, that we can use these energies to not only help us individually, but for humanity, for our world, for all beings, for a better world, a better planet. And the universe, God, The unseen realm gives us opportunities. And it's also a time to if we face our fears, our challenges. Okay? So anyway, my loves, I want to talk about that. There's certain things I wanted to say, and I know I'm off on a tangent as usual. And here I want to share this too. My painting that I did before, which is the earth is us, and the same thing with the sun and the moon. It all represents us, within us and all around us, as I've said in my previous videos. So it could be seen, but anyway. So something I want to talk about, something that I have, okay, well, let me just say, the birth chart. I'm branching off. I wanted to say this before I forget. Our birth chart is like a snapshot of the sky, of the heavenly sky, the moment you were born. You took your first breath, all the planets and all the signs that are there, the circle, the earth, your birth chart, okay? And no birth chart is the same. Everyone's is different. And it's like I say, the doctor went out and took the snapshot, right? So think about this. That birth chart is a living and changing birth chart every day. Every day, the decisions that you make, your choices, the things you go through are all in that birth chart. Your potential, your gifts, okay? The gifts, your past lives, your soul's wish, your purpose, all the opportunities that you have are there. It's like we have our free will. But anyway, so like I say, we have our own individual birth chart, and we have a collective individual consciousness and psyche as the birth chart, which is our world, our individual world, and our collective world on earth. And it's also represented by the planets, which is the angels, the portals, the chakras, tree of life. All that is all connected, okay? And I've said in another video, but I just wanted to say this briefly. And so something else I want to talk about, which is ancient Egyptian mythology that I've been kind of looking over. Okay, and it ties into all these things that I'm talking about. It's all interrelated. Okay, all the things from all my videos, it's all kind of got a theme going on. I feel in my heart. So anyway, the ancient Egyptians, which is our ancestors, ancient Egyptian mythology, okay, they highly believed not only in our earthly realm, but in the spiritual afterlife. They felt that it was both interconnected, and that what we do in this lifetime, in our daily lives, affects the spiritual afterlife. Sorry if you hear noise going on in the background. So anyway, so something that I had, well, I had read, which is the Nile River, right? Which was very important during those times to the ancient Egyptians. But the Nile River, well, it had flooded. But anyway, so basically their thinking was, I'm sorry, I'm looking off of notes here. That basically during the afterlife, it was the path that the soul took through the mirror of souls to reach the underworld. And my feeling is, I feel, well, so the underworld and the afterlife, the underworld, I feel, is here all the time. Like we're given situations all the time. Okay? And yes, like the ancient Egyptians, morality in our everyday life was very crucial and important. So basically, as I've said before, and I feel, about the invisible worlds and the heavenly realm, that nothing is concealed, like as in whatever we do, we're accounted for in our day-to-day lives. Meaning, this, as in going back to the underworld, that all that is here now. Okay? As in whatever choices and decisions we make in our day-to-day lives. Whatever decisions and how we act and how we behave and what we listen to, what we watch, how we treat everybody, not only ourselves but other people, as in there's the good forces that's around us, and then there's the bad forces that's around, the dark forces that are around us. In ancient Egyptian times, they knew that both, as in, they knew that both both forces were around and needed the universe and the cosmos. The cosmos was from chaos into order, like there was a balance, and both things had to be in balance for things to move, to work, and function. Okay? And so there's always the dualities of the forces, always. And it's needed to be. We need both forces, and both forces are always here. As in feminine, masculine, hot, cold, on, off, day, night, white, black, hot, cold. I don't know if I've said that. Good, bad. But it's a balance of the two. And it's also like, so let me just say, yes, we need both, but it needs to be the balance. Like I said, I know I'm off on a tangent. Sorry, I'm getting a little distracted. But anyway, so let's just say, okay, so back in time, Like, I was young, like, and gone through things, you know, and I've gone through some pretty weird experiences. I know I've said this before, and I'm not going to go too much into it right now. But what I'm saying is, things are not completely like what we may think. And yes, there are dark energies around. There's positive energies around, but there's also the other side as well. I've seen it. I've been around it. I know. Both. Okay? And let's just say that it's all in our society. And the more, as in, it's easy to get drawn into certain things. As in, like I say, what you watch, what you listen to, your addictions, and not saying that we can't break free from things. But the more you get into certain things, the harder sometimes it is to break free from it. And yes, that's what I mean about the dark forces that are always around. They're here in our media, in our society, in our worlds. But it's what we allow into our lives. We have the choice of what we're going to allow and what we're not going to allow. And how we... So it's very important, like I said, day to day, our life for the afterlife, because right now matters. Everything matters. It's all connected. What's above is a below, and a below is above. There is no separation. We're working towards spirituality. And your birth chart tells you your whole life is in that birth chart. Now, how is that? Think about it. If it shows you your whole potential of all your past lives and up to your whole entire life, it's all reflected right there. Think about that. Meaning that we're not separated from God. We're not separated from all of that. The heavenly portals, gateways, they're guarded. But we have to act accordingly to be able to get through those gates, those chakras, those energy points and centers that's within us. The heart is the main portal. Spiritual heart through love. And our heart in ancient Egyptian times gets weighed, as I told you, against the feather. And it can speak against you even after you've passed on. Anyway, my loves, I wanted to talk about that. And I know I'm off on tangent. I didn't get to share everything I wanted to say. And I know in certain social media platforms, it's going to cut me off in 20 minutes. And I'm already past the mark. But let me just say this, because I'm off on the flow now, and I wanted to discuss this. So the Noah's Ark, in my opinion, I feel, and like I said, I don't know a whole bunch of stuff, but I do know certain things that I've learned that didn't make sense. So the Noah's Ark and the flood and all that stuff, okay? In my opinion, certain things are meant to be symbolisms or metaphors. And I feel that the Noah's Ark, maybe, just maybe, think about this. What if it was actually meant to be like the ark is our body? It's the vessel, the ark that he built. What if it's the vessel, the container of our soul, of our spirit? And when they talk about the pairs of the animals that boarded the ship, right? The ship, which is like our spacesuit, which is the soul, or SOULER, and the SOLAR, as in space, as in housing our body and the spirit. Okay? Kind of going off two different things. I'm talking about the spacesuit as our body, and talking about the ark as in our body. Okay? Okay. So what if it's meant to be that, and the flood as in, okay. So when they talk about the pairs of the animals that board the ship, you know, what if it's like, because we have like two arms, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, 2 lungs, 2 eyes. We have twos, and a lot of our bodies, we have sets of twos. And the 40 days and the 40 nights that he was locked up in the boat and nothing else survived, okay? During the flood. Well, in the Egyptian mythology, ancient Egyptian mythology, it's said that for 40 days that the soul passes through the underworld, passes through the underworld to the afterlife, spiritual afterlife. I mean, that's kind of a coincidence, as in 40 days until it finds the spiritual afterlife, as in new land. Anyway, my loves, what I'm saying is, I think a lot of the things that we were taught and told, there's a lot more deeper meaning involved. And only bits and pieces, and to maybe like think of things a little bit differently. Open our hearts and minds to things, my loves. And so what I'm saying is, We have the power within our hands for change. Knowledge is power. And knowing that our lives are a lot more meaningful than what we're told to believe. That we are divine heavenly beings. We're powerful, divine, heavenly beings. Anyway, my loves, together we're stronger. And I just wanted to share all these things with you, give you a different perspective. Think about. All right, my loves, I love you. Happy, happy flower moon, soon to be Scorpio full moon. I love you with all of my heart. Blessed be my loves. As I say, one social media platform. I'm going to have to break this into two. Anyway, my loves, I love you. Take care.